Well, welcome back to Dave's Dive Bar. Yeah, the grill's still down. What can I get you? Something great. I'd recommend something in a small bottle on the back shelf, maybe the top shelf, because we all know great things come in small packages. I'm on my break, don't bother me. I'm kidding. I'm always on my break. Well, we're round 5. Wow, that's been a tornado of a series. We did 5 shows pretty quick. It might be end of July, early August when you're seeing this. And that's probably going to run our series. We're planning on do 5 at a time. Take a break from it, do some other shows we got in the works, come back and probably do another 5. But we really enjoy doing this. We really enjoy drinking Dave's whiskeys and bourbons, don't we? So tonight we're going to pick 3 more. We got the randomizer set up here. Let me start my clock here so I don't go too long. And if you haven't seen round 4, you should go back and watch that because we had a 5-star whiskey. Yes, we did. And you know what that means? Dave gets a bottle. So if you haven't watched it, please go back and watch that. But we're going to give Dave one more chance before the series ends for the summer. And like I said, we'll probably start back and do it again in the fall. It's a lot of fun. I love doing it. And we may even be more outrageous when we come back. That's the plan. About having fun. It's not about doing anything but really having fun. So let's go to our randomizer here and see what we got. Hit the button. 4-Gate Foundation 10 year. And let's see where that is. Oh, it's right here. So we're going to go on that. We're going to do like we did last time where I don't get ahead and then like I really want to taste the third one. I'm really only on the first one. So 4-Gate Foundation, aged 10 years, bourbon whiskey, 110.4 proof. From our proprietor, Mr. Dave Vogelsang. And I can tell you when we come back on the show, I'm going to get a lot more of these pineapples. And we're going to be giving away these pineapples along with samples. We just thought that would be really neat. And who knows, might even try to do it live. We'll see how things go. Live shows are kind of hit and miss. I want a good audience. And if I'm not going to get a large participation in it, then I'd just rather record it and let you watch it when you want to, rather than saying, hey, be here on a certain night at a certain time. So, 4-Gate Foundation. You know, I think I'm pretty sure I've had a 4-Gate, never owned one. I would have gotten it from Mr. Vogelsang. But this one rings no bells. 110 proof, definitely my wheelhouse. So let's see what the smells like. Well, that smells pretty rich, very bourbon-esque. A lot of very fragrant aromas coming off that. Definitely getting a little bit of oak, baking spices, but a lot of molasses brown sugar. Smells quite nice. Cheers. It reminds me of a 4-grain with that little bit of grain forward, but not too much. A good balance of sweetness, of grain, of oak. Nice, rich palate. Viscosity is great. Coats the palate. And a nice finish. A lot of the of the molasses, brown sugar, baking spices, and oak goes right into the finish. Just goes in there, goes back the palate, and then stays. And a little more savory than sweet, but kind of like a really good steak, like a filet mignon. Got that little bit of texture to it and richness, and not too salty, but just right. This is very good. So let me take a few notes, and we're going to go on to the next one. Foregate Foundations, aged 10 years. That's some good stuff. Let's see what else we can find in Dave's whiskey vault here. Randomize again. Old Dominick single barrel 7-year, row 3. So that'd be behind me. Old Dominick single barrel, aged 7 years. It's a Tennessee whiskey. It says it's Buster's pick. I assume that's maybe a bottle shop. 122.56 proof. We're getting up there, aren't we? Old Dominick. You know, I have seen Old Dominick in the stores down here. I've never seen it as, I think, a single barrel, and certainly not as a store pick. So I've always passed by it because I really don't know anything about it. The Tennessee whiskey, though. That's interesting. I'm really close to Tennessee. You would think I could find a single barrel Old Dominick in Tennessee. It's certainly different smelling than the Foregate. Less bourbon-esque. But I'm getting a lot of oak off this one. It's just 7 years. Not a lot of sweetness, not a lot of baking spices. Reminds me a lot of the Jack Daniel's single barrel. So it's a Tennessee whiskey. It's going to be mellowed, charcoal filtered. Let's see if it tastes like a Jack Daniel's. Cheers. That's nutty, but super rich and sweet. I mean, I'm getting like maple syrup sweetness, molasses, pour on your pancakes kind of sweetness, baby. Oh yeah, pancakes and syrup. Definitely that oak's coming across, and a fair amount of baking spices. I did not get any burn on the back of the throat. 122 is a little high for me normally. I usually don't go above 120 if I'm just buying for myself. And if I'm buying for the show, I want to review it, yeah, there's a lot of ones I'll go higher than that. But for me, for a drinker, whether it be a daily or a weekend sipper, if I'm buying it just for me to enjoy, I pretty much stay under 120. Pretty much, usually under 115. This stuff's good though. Take another sip. That's good, but it is nutty. But very rich. Actually, even richer on the palate as far as viscosity than the Foregate. Very rich. I mean, tremendous coating, oily. And in the finish, it's all about sugars and baking spices, vanillas, some cinnamon. Very nice. I would tell you that I think I like the Foregate better on the palate, but the finish on this one is wonderful. It has a great finish. Wow. Let me write a few notes, and we're going to go on to pick number 3. Wow, so 2 winners. I would tell you, I have a minimum of 3.5 stars for me to want to buy any bourbon or whiskey. When I'm rating them, 3.5 stars gets it to my purchase. Like 3 stars is a recommendation. Anything of 3 stars or above. 3.5 means I'm probably going to buy it if I find it at a good price. Both of these were above 3.5. Yes. Very good whiskeys and bourbons. I'm really now going to be looking at the Old Dominic here in North Georgia when I see it. And I do see it. Just don't know anything about it. Now I do, right? Thank you, Dave. All right, let's hit that randomizer one last time. 2XO Phoenix Blend. Oh, I love 2XO. You know, and I thought the other day that I had the Phoenix, but I went back and looked, and I'm not sure that I ever have. I know I've never bought it. 2XO, or 2 times oak. It's gonna be oaky, boys. It's gonna be oaky, and girls. Yeah, that's oaky. Some spices, a lot of oak, not very sweet smelling. Really don't pick up. The spices is more like rye spices than baking spices. I'm really not picking up cinnamon, nutmeg, vanilla, that kind of thing. Definitely more of a rye spice going for it. Cheers. Oh yeah, that's an oak bomb. There's not much sweetness to that. That is a savory oak masterpiece. Wow, a lot of oak going on it. If you didn't like a oaky bourbon, I assume it's bourbon. I think the Phoenix Blend is a bourbon. I'll put that in the comments if I'm wrong. Wow. That takes a little getting used to because I went to just wonderful to sweet and then to just the opposite. This is just the opposite. But this was a little heavier on the sweet. This was just the opposite with the savory, and this was a good balance of the two. It's good. I'd like it a little sweeter. It took me a little bit to get used to the oakiness of the 2XO, the special releases. Not a fan of the American Oak series. I know they're coming out with another one that I'm waiting on, that I heard the other day. But just not a fan of the American Oak. What I did with the American Oak, believe it or not, I use it to make barbecue sauce. Makes a killer barbecue sauce. Yeah, I know it's a little bit expensive versus other things, but you know, you gotta start with good ingredients, and it's just not my palate with all that oakiness. But you put it in a barbecue sauce where you're adding sweetness to it, and that bourbon comes through and that oak comes through. That's a good smoky barbecue sauce. So let me write some information down, and we're going to find out whether we've got any 5-star bourbons tonight. 2 of them were exceptional. I'll be right back. This has been a great series. I really enjoyed doing it. It's a lot of fun. And like I said, we're going to keep getting more outrageous. You wait for what's coming. I got some ideas. So this was just the beginning. And the bouncers, I can't thank the bouncers enough. You know, I found those at the last minute. I'm going like, I need more bling. Matt and Troy are my bling. Thank you, Matt and Troy. Hope you watched the show. Maybe next time we'll have a tiki bar, right? Anyways, all right, let's talk about the scoring. how great I liked them. We're going to start with what we just drank first, the 2XO Phoenix blend. And oaky and more oaky, leather and more oaky. Just not my thing. Is it a good bourbon? I think it is a good bourbon. Not at $99 that what I've been seeing for. I wouldn't pay more than $50 or $60 for that. Even so, I've got so many other bourbons under $60 I like better than this. So even if it was $60, I probably still wouldn't buy it. But it's a good bourbon. I did give it 3 stars, so it's not something I wouldn't drink. If someone gave it to me, I'd be happy to drink it. This actually might make a killer old-fashioned. I've got some bourbons that have actually converted to old-fashioned only use that are great, but I'm just not that special drinking neat, and drinking neat is my favorite way to drink bourbon. My second favorite way is an old-fashioned. So I don't need anything quite the level, and this would, if I had a bottle, that's probably what I'd use it for. A little pricey old-fashioned, I know. In second place was our second choice tonight, the Old Dominick Single Barrel, aged 7 years, Tennessee whiskey. I just thought that was like fabulous. The sweetness, a little bit oaky, the maple, it just had the best finish of the 3. I would buy this, and we'll start to look and see what I can find. You know, this is so good at 122 proof. Is it still good at 90 proof? I don't know. So I'm going to go see what's out there in my neck of the woods for the Old Dominick. But I like it. 4 stars. It was fudging, but not quite there. Foregate Foundation, aged 10 years, bourbon whiskey, 110.4 proof. The winner of tonight. What did I say about it? Very fragrant on the aroma. Molasses, brown sugar, sweet oak, baking spices, and a lasting finish. I just love the traditional flavors in this. The 10 years, it actually tastes to me more like a 15, at least a 12. It tastes older than it actually is. I'm a fan. I know the Foregates can be expensive, but in my mind, it's worth it. If I could find this under 200, I would buy it. I know Foregates, they're just pricey. But if I found it under $200, I would buy a bottle of this just to have this as a special treat. I think it's fantastic. Did it get to 5 stars? Just shy of it, got 4.5. But I do like this. So, in our series, we only found 1 5-star whiskey, and it was great. And like I said, I don't want to give it away if you haven't watched. We had that in show 4. In fact, we're in the process of shipping off, or selecting. Actually, I've got several bottles I could send Dave. I want to send him something special from Georgia, so we're in the process of doing that. And by the time you see this, Dave will have already got it and probably drank the whole damn thing. Who knows? He may not like it, but I'm going to send him a good, and it probably will be a bourbon, because that's my thing. Bourbon Riders, right? So we hope you enjoyed this video, comment and share, and we will be back for another session of Dave's Dive Bar. Because why? Because Dave's whiskey is free. Where's my favorite? Right here. So as always, please drink responsibly, never drink and drive, and we'll see you soon on another Dave's Dive Bar.